I'm John Anderson. Tonight we have Fremd at 6-2 hosting Barrington at 7-1. Fremd is coached by Lou Sponsel in his third year, and Barrington is coached by Joe Sanchez in his 13th year. This is the game for second place in the Mid-Suburban West. Up until a couple of weeks ago, we thought that for sure that it would be the championship game, but over the last couple of weeks, Palatine has defeated both of these teams. Palatine defeated Fremd 24-17 2 weeks ago, and then they defeated Barrington 24-14 last week. Palatine now is 5-0 in the is 5-0 in the conference, and they can win the conference tonight by beating Schaumburg, which is in last place. Both Fremd and Barrington have clinched playoff berths, so playoffs are not an issue here. This is a big rivalry game for Barrington because the eastern part of the Barrington district is adjacent to Fremd, and a lot of the students know each other very well, and it's become a big rivalry between the two of them.
Seniors and parents, senior parents who are taking
last week, Fremd beat Conant 39-14. A key play was Jeff Gill's 28-yard pick six near the end of the first half. It was with 1 minute 49 seconds left to give Fremd a 22-14 lead at the half. With that kind of motivation and momentum going into the half, Fremd was able to dominate the second half. They won the second half 17-0 and wound up winning the game 39-14. Fremd had 379 yards to 284 for Conant. The leading rusher for Fremd was Cody Patinaw with 164 yards. The quarterback, Nick Bosong, was 14 of 30 for 190 yards. Last week, Barrington lost to Palatine 14-24 after leading 14-0. There was a turnover that occurred with the score 14-0 late in the second quarter. Palatine took the ball in, scored, made the halftime 14-7, and from there on dominated the second half and won the game 24-14 over Barrington. However, Barrington still had more total yardage. They had 345 total yards to 305. Johnny Davidson had a fairly big night passing. He was 22 of 36. That's a 61% passing, which is below his season average, but it's still very good against a strong team like Palatine. Dumaso Mikaswanzi and Davidson both had 46 yards rushing on 9 carries. Scotty Miller had 5 catches for 81 yards. Johnny Davidson had a total of 314 yards out of 345 that Barrington piled up. So he was the bulk of their offense, his passing and his running. The Barrington running backs only had 31 yards of offense last week, and that was the biggest problem that Barrington had. They didn't assert themselves in the running game from the running back position, and that's really what caused their offense to be disrupted and caused Palatine to win that game. The Barrington defense did well stopping leading rusher for Palatine, conference leading rusher Chris Cornelius, holding him to only 50 yards last week. And so that was a good performance on the part of the Barrington defense against a very strong running back. Some of the key players for Fremd, their offensive line, Jake Platt, 6'3", 250. Dominic Lombard, who is presently being recruited by Purdue. His older brother plays for Notre Dame. He's 6'5", 295 pounds. John Albrecht is 6'4", 255. So Fremd has its typically big line. The running back, Cody Pettigrew, he's averaging 8.4 yards a carry for Fremd this year. We'll see a lot of him tonight. Nick Bozang is
3rd and 7.
Is at 52% completion percentage for the year, and provides them with some passing. He's also running for 4.6 yards a carry. Jawan Gaines as a running back, he's averaging 7.1 a carry, and as a receiver, he's averaging 16.4. He's got tremendous speed, and he is definitely a big factor in this game tonight. On defense, defensive line for Fremd, Pat McMahon, Matt McCabe, Alex Jacobs are doing a good job on defense. Linebackers, Jack Hansen and Patrick Chen. Safeties, Ryan Haas and Ken Like. Cornerbacks, we have Jeff Gill, who had the pick six last week that turned that game around. And Dennis Mayer and Patrick Kurta. Key players for Barrington, they also have a big line. Alex Serrano, 6'3", 280. Brent Morrison, 6'3", 280, are a couple of their big linemen. Mick Kawanzi is a key running back. He's averaging 6.3 a carry for the season. And JT Henderson is another good running back for Barrington. He's averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Nate King is at 5.5 a carry this season. Scotty Miller is a terrific player on offense. He's a little bit like a star player for Neuqua Valley a couple of years ago, who's now at Illinois, Dudek, and he's extremely fast, and he is averaging 20.6 yards per reception. He's got 25 receptions for 516 yards. Mitchell Pfeiffer has 22 receptions for 582 yards. That's a 24-yard average. So you have Miller and Pfeiffer averaging over 20 yards per reception. That's a big part of the Barrington offense, these big gains on passing. Johnny Davidson has had a really exceptionally strong year as a junior starting at quarterback. He's 74% completion, 1,711 yards. He's got 17 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and he also is running for 4.2 yards a carry. So he has done exceptionally well, and no team has really stopped him. He's had consistently good play this year. Defensive line, David Downhauer, Kyle Merkant, and Cooper Van Keppen and Jason Harris have been putting on a heavy pass rush, and that's been a key to the defense. Additionally, another key for the defense for Barrington has been Jake Kuhn and Mark Bonhoffen, a couple of outstanding inside linebackers. Here are some of the things to watch for in tonight's game. Look for Fremd to try to establish the run with Petnu. He's averaging 8.4 a carry, and this would be a way of getting some ball control, keeping that high-powered Barrington offense off the field. Jawan Gaines, of course, will be used in a number of situations, and he's a threat to go all the way at any point in time. Fremd will try to stop Barrington's run game the way Palatine did, and so we can expect Barrington to really try to get that running game restored to what it was in previous games. Barrington is very screen pass oriented. They execute that very well, and Fremd will have to try to stop that. That's one of the keys to the Barrington offense, is the success on the screen passes. In summing this whole thing up, I think the Barrington defense is strong enough in the line and their linebackers to slow down Fremd a bit and slow down their running game, contain their passing, and probably gives them an edge in this game tonight. I think while Barrington has an edge in this game, I think it will be a very, very competitive, entertaining game.
Dawn's early light, what so brightly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the
Well done, national anthem on a picture-perfect fall night here in Palatine.
It's a little more mild than it's been for the last few weeks. We're enjoying a temperature right around 65 degrees, maybe 60, and not much wind at all. The flag is straight down right now, so it certainly appears to be a good night for the passing attacks.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how aggressive Barrington is passing the game, passing the ball tonight. They've been very successful throughout the season, including their loss last week against Palatine. Palatine was able to slow down their running game, so it'll be interesting to see if Barrington makes a point to try to establish their run game tonight. I suspect that'll be the case.
Yeah, Johnny Davidson passed for 268 yards last week, which was actually it was near his high end of the season. But part of the problem was that the running game was off so badly. The running backs collectively only piled up a mere, I shouldn't say piled up, but were held to a mere 31 yards. So that was a combination of perhaps some execution that wasn't all that good, and a Palatine defense that was really tough.
Yeah, I suspect Barrington will try to improve upon that. They'll be going against a stout Fremd defensive front.
Thank you for attending this event.
Fremd has been tough against the run, and as you said, earlier in the season especially, and if they return to that form, that could cause problems for Barrington. Davidson did pick up the slack, and he accounted for a tremendous amount of the total yardage of Barrington last week. It was...
yeah, Davidson had a big game running the ball against Hersey earlier in the year. Seems like when their tailback game's been slowed down a little bit, Davidson's taken a little bit larger share of the role in the run game.
Davidson, total offense for Davidson was 314 last week, and Barrington only had 345.
About set for kickoff here.
Here we are.
Fremd will be kicking off to Barrington, and that means Scotty Miller will be back to receive the kick. He's returned several kicks for touchdowns this year. We'll get used to calling his name. He's critical in the return game, offense and defense for the Broncos. He's kind of the counterpart to Jawan Gaines at Fremd, who has a similar role. A short kick fielded by an up man on the run and brought down at the 40, where the Broncos will take over 1st and 10.
That's Matt Morin that gathered that in. He's a wide receiver otherwise, and he's a senior. He gathered that in and took it up to the right around the 40.
Can't say that kick was blocked down by the wind, so I think maybe they were trying to keep the ball out of Miller's hands to start the game here. And here's Davidson commanding the Barrington offense with 4 wide receivers, and as running back Mekawanzi off to his right.
Goes. Miller has it. He went in motion to the right, and
fumble on the play, but being ruled down. That was Scotty Miller on the jet motion to the wide side of the field for a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6 coming up for Barrington.
It appeared that they had it covered fairly well. He still gained 4 or 5 yards on that. So we're 2nd and 6.
Davidson appears to audible briefly. 4 wide, two wide receivers on each side.
There's the swing pass.
There's a screen pass. He's gone.
This almost gone.
This looks to be
caught from behind by number 14 there.
Dylan Bingham on the reception. That's
Kenneth
number
Light
24. So one of
made the tackle for Fremd.
One of Davidson's weapons on offense. He spreads the ball pretty well between Miller, Pfeiffer, and Bingham. That was Bingham on a play that seemed to give Davidson a run option, but he held the ball before hitting Bingham wide for a big gain. 1st down at the 20-yard line for Barrington. Here's the handoff to Mekawanzi. After a modest gain, he's hit hard and taken down for about a gain of 6. Should be 2nd and 4 coming up.
Mekawanzi, the leading rusher for Barrington this year.
Taking a 6 on the play, brings down 2nd and 4.
We have three Barrington wideouts to the wide side of the field. as Davidson sets up the offense. Davidson keeps a good-sized hole, and he's in for the touchdown. A good hole. He kept on the zone read, found the hole, and then made a nice break to the outside for an impressive touchdown run for Barrington to go up just about a minute and a half into this ball game. Barrington 6 from 0.
He's very athletic. He's got light feet, and he just took off on that and sidestepped one tackler and took it into the end zone.
I think that was about a 14-yard touchdown run for Davidson.
So Barrington in the early going here with 10:26 remaining. Just a minute and a half, and they've gone down the field and scored.
10:26 left in the first quarter.
In this opening drive.
Well, that looked very much like the Barrington team we saw through the early parts of the MSL West season.
Look back, we did the game against Wheeling, and they looked like that. And I saw their game with Schaumburg on a Saturday, and they did the same thing, just scoring early and often.
Their tailback, Mekawanzi, just one carry on the play. They did run Miller on the first play of the game, and Davidson kept for the keeper. They did seem to feature Davidson in that drive for sure. Nice first series for Barrington and Davidson. All right, Fremd now back for the kickoff. That means Jawan Gaines will be back. He returned a kickoff for a touchdown last week and had 2 punt returns that were returned for TDs but disallowed on penalties. So he's a weapon back there for the Vikings.
He's a little slight of build, but has absolutely blazing speed.
He's very similar to Scotty Miller in size, speed, and number. They both sport the number 1 for their respective teams.
Runs into a
Gaines had a head of steam, but was met hard at about the 26-yard line, where Fremd will take over with 10:20 left in the first quarter.
Nick Bozang has started the last few games and played throughout, and he's completing right around 53% of his passes, and he's in there right now. He's a senior, 5'11", 175.
A single back, he
swings it
finds his speedy wideout Gaines, who makes a move to the outside. Looks like he picks up about 6 yards on a nice play there.
Sidestepped one defender there.
Fremd had been playing 2 quarterbacks, but recently here they've settled with Bosong. Is that your expectation today, just to see the 1 quarterback tonight?
That is the expectation. That's what happened last week and I think the week before. And they had been splitting time
with Cordell Finley, and I think we may see him at wideout.
Finley has been a wideout last week, and in recent weeks he's been used in that capacity. And
Bosong lines up with 1 back. He has Gaines in the slot on the wide side of the field. This is a handoff. Broken tackle. He's up the sideline and finally taken down at the Barrington 40 for about a gain of 30 yards or so. I believe that was Pappendaw on the carry.
Cody Patnaugh breaks a big 28-yard run.
Patnaugh, that's your leading rusher, and he's showing part of the reason why he's averaging 8.4. He's got power and he's got speed, and showed us a little bit of the speed on that one.
Yeah, 5'8", 162 tailback, but he's an explosive guy. Looks like he gets the ball here again on a similar play, but he's met immediately by Barrington after maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 7 on the play. Well,
both these teams coming out firing and showing a lot of offense here in the early going.
Yeah, both these teams are pretty versatile on offense. A lot of different playmakers, quarterbacks and receivers, and then the tailback especially for Fremd here. Looks like Fremd is going with a no huddle here, and they're getting the play in from the sideline, taking a little longer than it had the previous couple of plays. Single back, looks like Pappendaw is not in there. The handoff is up the middle, and Patrick McMahon, who's most notably a defensive player, he's stacked up at the line for about a yard and a half gain. That'll bring up third and 6. So a critical play in the early going here for Fremd. 3rd and 6 at about the Barrington 35-yard line. Bo Song looking to the sideline to get the play in. McMahon stays in the backfield. Gaines is in the slot on the wide side of the field. Play action pass. This is a wheel route, and the receiver never really came open, and it was overthrown. Here's an interesting decision for the Fremd head coach here. A little far for field goal, but maybe doesn't make that much sense to punt. Third-year head coach Lou Sponzo looks to be sending his offense out there again. Not much of a surprise. It looks like McMahon is in the backfield.
McMahon, yeah, he's 6'3", 232-pound.
He's one of the better players on the Fremd defense, and getting an opportunity here on offense.
And he gives them a tremendously powerful and large running back.
The quick punt. Quarterback Bo Song took the snap and punted the ball, and this seems to be a successful move. Looks like it's going to be down at about the Barrington 10-yard line. So Barrington will take over at the 10-yard line with just over 8 minutes. So after the long run by Patnod, Fremd gets slowed up and ended up punting, but were able to punt Barrington in an unfavorable field position.
This is where we might see an attempt at a long pass here. You've got a lot of field to work with, and try to get Scotty Miller deep, perhaps.
Makawanzi back with Davidson. That's who's gets it. He breaks a tackle about at the line of scrimmage, but wasn't able to get much, about a gain of 3. Here comes 2nd and 7.
Pick up a 3, 2nd and 7.
Davidson works behind a typically large offensive line for Barrington. They've put several offensive linemen through the years into the college ranks. This unit seems to be one of the better ones. A single back with Davidson. It's Makuanzo. Here's Miller on the jet motion again. And he's strung out well. He does sneak around the end, maybe picked up 2 or 3, but this will bring up 3rd down for the Broncos.
Turned it right at the very end, just as he got near the sideline, picked up a few yards.
Yeah, they're marking him down at the 16, so it's 3rd and 6 for Barrington. I suspect this will be Johnny Davidson time. 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field for the Broncos. 1 setback.
Came through with a lot of yardage last week, and
here's a screen pass to Miller. He's brought down for a loss. There's a flag in the play. Likely a blocking penalty on Barrington, which will likely be declined. Well, that's a good defensive play by Fremd. Miller looked to juke out a defender, but wasn't able to, and was brought down. That's a legal block on Barrington, which will be declined, and that'll put Barrington in a punting situation. So it looked like a good strategy out of Fremd. They punted Barrington in deep and get the 3 and out to set their offense up.
The Vikings declined the penalty. That brings up 4th down for the Broncos.
Here comes the punting unit for the Broncos, and this is also a situation where you have to be, where Barrington has to be wary of Jawan Gaines in the return game. He's setting up at about the Barrington 47-yard line. So it should be good field position for the Vikings after this punt.
Punt is off. It's deep, but Gaines has it.
Gaines cuts it at the 50-yard line and comes up from sideline up to about the 38-yard line.
Gaines returns the punt 13
so that's
yards
about,
to the 37-yard
I think that's roughly the same position from where Fremd punted earlier. So after changing punts, we're in about the same situation we were just a few moments ago. Fremd offense will take the field looking to even the score.
Barrington has had good play out of 46, Downhauer, 91 Van Kampen in the defensive line this year.
We'll keep an eye to see if McMahon goes into the backfield at all. This looks to be Patnod back there with Bosong. Play action pass.
Bosong going
he has
deep.
A man. There's Gaines in the end zone. Off his hands. Almost caught. Would have likely been a touchdown, but Gaines unable to reel it in. So that'll bring up second down.
For Jawan Gaines is incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Well thrown ball. Just the quarterback and receiver not quite able to connect. It was a one-on-one coverage. Gaines was in position to make a catch, but wasn't quite able to haul it in. We'll see if they go back to that later on in the game. That was an opportunity.
Attempt to go for it all on first down there.
Second down. This is Bosong keeps and picks up about 3 yards. So here brings up a 3rd and long at the 35.
The ball pushes ahead to the 34-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Patton on the backfield with Bosong. They look to the from sideline to get the play. Clock winding under 7 minutes in the first quarter. Outside of the big run play by Pattenoff, Fremd's offense has sputtered here. A quick pass to the sidelines complete.
Nice catch by
should
Kyle
be
Lewis
first
down
yard.
the
Should be good for the first yard.
Lewis on the reception. Kyle Lewis.
First down.
It's good for a first down.
First and 10 Vikings from the 23-yard line.
That'll move the chains and give the Vikings a first down at the 23-yard line. That was a well-designed play. Bosong, the quarterback, got rid of the ball almost immediately, picked up the first down.
Here's but
Bosong kept the ball and was able to pick up about 3 yards.
He's really faking well there.
So some good fakes. Had he handed the ball off, that would have been stopped for no gain, but as it was, about 3 yards or so picked up. Brings up second down for the Vikings.
Some fancy ball handling on the part of Bosong.
This Viking offense continues to go without the huddle. So their typical ritual here is most of their skill players look towards the sideline and get their signals from their coaches. Patnod, and this is Gaines on the jet motion. He's going to have a nice gain here, breaks a tackle before he's taken down by a host of Bronco players in the secondary. He's up to about the 10-yard line. That's going to be a first down for the Vikings. They like to get Gaines involved in all aspects of the game. He carries the ball a handful of times a game as one of their best pass receivers, and he's big in the return game as well. This will be a 1st and goal at the 9. And it looks like McMahon, the big back McMahon, is back there this time, and he gets the ball.
He gets the ball, and
he leans forward, drags a tackler or so, about a 3-yard gain. He's about to the 5 or 6.
6-yard line, picks up 3 on first down, 2nd and goal from the 6.
You know, if anything, I would say Patnaw hasn't been featured as much as maybe we expected, especially given that he broke the long run earlier.
Broke the long run, and he's been the leading rusher. They're opting to have McMahon in there, feeling that they get a little more power.
Game. Here comes Gain on motion. It's handed off to McMahon, and he's dropped for maybe a yard or 2 gain. So this will bring up a key 3rd down
McMahon picks
at
up
about
a yard
the
on
4 or 5.
3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
3rd and goal from the 5.
Gaines came up on the motion as more of a decoy there, but the Bronco defense were able to stay with McMahon and brought him down for not much of a gain. Looks like McMahon stays out there. Patnaw's on the sideline. Gaines is in the slot to the wide side of the field. Gaines comes in motion, and it's handed off to McMahon again, and he has a little more running room. He's close.
Takes it in for the touchdown.
Fremd was patient with McMahon. Despite being stopped fairly well on 1st and 2nd down, they go back to him on 3rd down, and he's able to find a hole on the left side of the line and goes in to bring this game to within 1 point. 7-6 with the PAT ensuing. And the kick is up and
right through the middle.
And good.
It is good.
So we got a tie game here late in the first quarter. Fremd utilized the quick punt to put Barrington in bad field position, got the 3 and out they needed, and then had a pretty good drive, mostly really passing until the end. McMahon finishing off the drive. Quarterback Bo Song carried a couple times and threw a couple of key passes. They also had the deep pass in the first play of the game to Gain. So very good drive out of the senior quarterback Nick Bosong to level the score at 7.
Well, I think Fremd is signaling that they're going to try to run the football as much as possible here, and using McMahon, and they've got Petnu and to bring in, and
yeah, and they're running Bosong quite a bit on the zone read, and I would say Bosong, he's pretty deceptive back there. He hides his fakes pretty well. Here's Fremd kicking off to Miller again. They opt to kick deep this time, and it drives Barrington into the end zone. This will be a correction. This is taken
20.
out. This is Mekuanzu, I believe, on the return there.
Brody Martin's kick is returned out of the end zone by number 27, Terry McGovern.
Terry McGovern, the defensive back. Took the ball. He went almost into the goal, into the end zone, which would have been a touchback, but from the 1 yard line, he was able to bring it out to the 31 yard line.
Over possession.
So he picked up an extra 11 yards on that versus downing it in the end zone.
Johnny Davidson back to work here with a single tailback next to him. This is Davidson on the keeper. He's taken down for maybe a loss of 1. Not much room there. Davidson tried to make a move, but was brought down by a host of Viking tacklers.
2nd and 10.
So again, Davidson keeping rather than going to Mekuanzu. Davidson was able to break free for a nice touchdown earlier in the game. Here comes this ball goes to Mekuanzu. He has nice running room, breaks the tackle, and brought down for about a 16-yard
down
gain.
by number 9.
That was Ryan Haas on the tackle.
Out to the 7-yard line where he's tackled by Ryan Haas.
So that moves the sticks for the Broncos. Mekuanzu
for the Broncos.
going for about a 16-yard gain. That's something that Barrington should be pretty happy about. If they can get their tailback game going, that should open up the rest of the offense. This is Mekuanzu again on a bit of a delayed handoff. He picked up 3 before being pushed backwards. I think his forward progress is going to give him about a gain of 2 or 3 right at midfield.
50-yard line brings up 2nd and 7.
So a little bit of a delayed handoff out of Barrington there on 1st down. Barrington in their typical formation, two receivers to each side, Davidson in the shotgun and Mekuanzu off to the side. There's a quick pass to Miller. Miller's going to pick up the 1st down.
Pass caught by number 1, Scotty Miller.
Miller was pretty wide open there, and Davidson didn't hesitate. He got that ball in his hands and got rid of it as quick as possible. So a pretty efficient play out of the Broncos there. It'd be 1st down into Fremd territory at the 41-yard line. Mekuanzu in the backfield next to Davidson.
There's Davidson looking.
Davidson gets that thing away. That's
Moran.
Matt Moran on another seam route out of the slot position. Davidson took the snap from center and immediately rifled the ball to Moran for a big gain, about a 20-yard gain to the 21-yard line.
Davidson puts good velocity on his passes, and that's contributed to his very low interception total of only 4 for the season.
This is Miller on the motion. He's stacked up for about 1 yard or so. Correction, that was Moran after making the nice reception. Is given the ball out of the on the motion play and is brought down for about a yard gain. Davidson, really incredible numbers. The high completion percentage, low interceptions. He's easily the best passer in the West. This is Davidson running. He has room. He kicks it outside. He's running for the corner of the end zone. He's in there. So that's a 20-yard touchdown run by Johnny Davidson.
Quite a quarterback. He really runs the football well, in addition to completing 70% 3% of his passes. He's been a good runner for this team, and he takes that one into the end zone.
That's his second touchdown run of the game. That one a 20-yarder. There was an open hole, and then he showed off his speed when he broke it to the outside and was able to beat all the Viking tacklers to the corner of the end zone. So that drive was very impressive by Davidson. Hit a couple of big passes, including a 20-yard gain to Moran. Got rid of the ball very quickly. You can really tell he has good command of this Bronco offense.
It's quite impressive for a junior, and at the beginning of the season, the preseason write-ups really indicated that Barrington was undecided as to who would even start this year, and he's come on and played like a veteran with tremendous experience and savvy for somebody with so little time.
Yeah, he plays with a lot of confidence. Plays with a lot of confidence, delivers the ball quickly, and is a very accurate passer. He's only 5'10", so maybe the next level that would probably be held against him, but appears to be an excellent high school level quarterback. But after the big touchdown drive by Fremd, Barrington did an excellent job of answering back, and maybe a little bit more of a high-scoring game here in Palatine than what we would have anticipated.
The offenses have definitely had the edge so far.
Here's Gaines on the return. He takes it at about the 7-yard line. He's brought down at about the 32. So a nice return, but
returns the kick out to
not
31-yard line.
Wasn't quite able to make it through that. Barrington good on the coverage there. They had a lot of white uniforms in that area.
Fremd will take over at their own 31-yard line with just over 2 minutes still in the first quarter of play here. Bosong out of the pistol formation. I think that's Papanaw behind him. Looks back to the sideline to get the play after they got a chance to look at how the defense is set up. And this is Bosong on the keeper again. He's going to pick up about 5 yards.
They execute that with incredible deception.
Yeah, very. Looked as if that was going to the tailback, but at the last second, Bosong took it, was able to go for a nice gain on first down. Fremd running out of that pistol formation, made famous by Chris Alt and the Nevada Wolfpack. A quick pass by Bosong, and it's broken up by Scotty Miller. Jason Harris, all 6'5" of them, is able to take down Bosong, and that'll bring out the Fremd punting unit.
Son of Al Harris, the former Chicago Bear.
The Bronco defense responded nicely, getting the quick 3 and outs.
That gave the Barrington fans over there. They've filled up the bleachers across the way. The visitor stands are full with Barrington fans.
Double safety for Barrington. This looks like this is McGovern. Slips a tackle. He's down the sideline before being shoved out at the Fremd 30. I believe it's the 30. He may have stepped down early. No, yeah, it looks like it is all the way down to the 30-yard line of Fremd. So an impressive return by McGovern. Officially spotted at the 27-yard line. So a quick stop by Barrington and good field position. They take over at the Fremd 27. Johnny Davidson back on the field for the Broncos. Single back. Here comes the motion man. This is handed off to McQuanzie. He's going to pick up about 4, maybe 5.
Matt McCabe brings down Damaso McQuanzie.
That was Mitchell Pfeiffer in motion for Barrington. He typically gets involved in the pass game as well.
After a pickup of 4 yards.
That'll do us for the first quarter. Action-packed first quarter. We had 2 touchdown runs by Johnny Davidson. Davidson and Barrington back on the field. 2nd and 6 from the Fremd 23. Barrington going with a tight end for one of the few times tonight. Davidson looking
Here's
deep.
Davidson.
He's got a man a little overthrown.
Just a little bit overthrown.
That was Moran he was targeting. It was a little overthrown. There was another receiver that he really kind of threw in between two receivers that were open. So I would say that goes as probably Davidson's worst pass of the night, but that may be his first incompletion.
Still a nice tight spiral with good velocity, but
got rid of the ball
it was just a
quickly,
little long for
interception.
the lead receiver there.
Here comes a key third down. Barrington leaving their
3rd and 6.
leaving their tight end out there. Makowanzi also in the backfield.
That's
Davidson.
Moran.
Moran, that was ran on the reception and taken down by number 20, Jeff Gill. Nice tackle by Gill on that play. Brings up 4th down, but I suspect they'll leave
Gill
the
got
offense
over there
out.
very quickly and held that play to actually caused a loss of a yard.
Loss of a yard, so nice play by Gill. Here comes the Barrington place kicking unit. This will be a pretty long kick, a 41-yard field goal. This is Chase Lesniak kicking for the Broncos. Kick is up.
Got
This
the
is
direction,
close.
but it's a
Just
little
a little short.
It's a little short.
40-yard field
No
goal
good.
attempt is short.
So that the good field position for
Vikings will
the
take over
Broncos, they
possession
weren't
at the
able to
20-yard
cash in
line.
on it. Settle for the long field goal attempt that comes up short. Being that it made it to the end zone, that means Fremd will take over at their own 20. Counts as a touchback in the high school game. So we're into the second quarter. And Bosong and the Fremd Viking offense will take the field looking to tie up this ball game. Be interesting to see if they try to get Patnaw more involved this possession.
He had a big game last week, 164 yards rushing.
There he is, Patnaw on the carry. He's strung out and looks to be dropped for a loss. He's taken down at about the 17, so a 3-yard loss on the
brought
play.
down for no gain by number 19, Travis Sisuski.
As a handoff to the short, to the towards the Fremd sideline, and really didn't have much of an opportunity. Nice play by the Barrington defense.
That was the outside linebacker, Travis Sisuski, 6'1", 185-pounder on the left outside that made that tackle.
Barrington really employing a 4-2
for a
defense
loss.
against the spread out Fremd formation. Bosong passing. It's caught for a gain of about 13 at the 31-yard line. Jeff Gill on the reception. He motioned into the backfield and then ran a wheel route down the Fremd sideline and was fairly uncovered. And a nice pass by Bosong allowed Gill to move the chains for the Vikings. That'll bring up first down at the 31.
Gill playing both ways. He's made that stop on 3rd down just a little while ago, and now he's catching a pass for Fremd.
Bosong rolling right. That pass is complete. Thrown into double coverage, but the ball was a hard pass that was able to make it to the wide receiver Gaines. Pickup of 9.
2nd and 1.
So a little bit of a risky pass, but the velocity allowed for it to go past the Bronco defenders and into the hands of Juwan Gaines for a nice pickup. Brings up 2nd and short. This is a spot for the Fremd offense. Hasn't been in much. 2nd and short. They've resorted to a lot of conversions on 3rd down. This is a handoff to Patnaw. He has running room. This is going to be about a 7-yard pickup.
First down.
Pick up the
We're
first.
seeing a lot of good execution of offense and defense out there on both sides. We've had very few penalties. These are teams that are playing well. They're good football teams playing the game very well right now.
Yeah, you could think that these teams would have been disappointed to not be winning a league, but that doesn't appear to be the case. That was an interesting play where Bosong faked the handoff, then rolled to his left and looked to dump the ball off to his receiver Gaines.
Blake Jacobs got in there and got a hand on it. And
looked like there may have been a little confusion with how that play was supposed to develop. But that brings up 2nd and 10 from about the 45-yard line. second place in the West on the line and playoff seeding, maybe more importantly for these guys. Oh, this ball's fumbled. It looks like Bosong fumbled the snap and then wasn't able to get a clean handoff, but it looks as if Fremd was able to fall on top of it and will actually pick up about 3 yards. So that was maybe the sloppiest play of the game so far, but still resulted in a positive play for the Vikings. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 for the Vikings.
Looking for the signal from the coaches there. They're calling the next play, 3rd and 7.
This will likely be Bosong looking to find one of his 3 receivers on the wide side of the field.
3 to the left, and he's got 1 receiver out to the right.
Timeout, Vikings.
Apparently the Viking coaching staff didn't like what they saw. They have to call a timeout before this critical 3rd down. Barrington would for sure host with a win, and with a loss they would be on the bubble of hosting or going on the road in week 1 of the playoffs. So that could be important for both these teams. Here comes 3rd and 7 out of the pistol formation. Bosong on the play action. Finds gain, tiptoes at the sideline, caught, and will move the chain.
Be a first down, yeah.
Complete down to the 38-yard line. Good enough for a Viking.
Good velocity on that pass for Bosong.
Moved another 3rd and long converted by Fremd.
43-yard line for the Vikings.
Bosong found his favorite target, Gaines, open right at the Broncos sideline. He was able to get his feet on the ground and move the chains. Back to the pistol set for the Vikings. Patton on the backfield with Bosong into Bronco territory. Another quick pass. That's complete. I believe that's to Cordell Finley.
Scotty Miller covering out there and forced the receiver out of bounds.
I believe that was Cordell Finley on the reception. He's split some time with Bosong earlier in the year at quarterback, making the reception there. That'll pick up about 4 there at the Bronco 39. Pistol formation again for Fremd. Bosong looking deep. He's got a guy there.
Got a guy.
That's caught for a touchdown. Heck of a cut. Patrick Chen on the reception. That's going to bring Fremd within a PAT from tying this game. So an impressive drive out of Fremd there. They started at their own 20 after the missed field goal, picked up a key 3rd down. Were able to run the ball, hit a few key passes, and then the long pass, 39-yard gain, Bosong to Patrick Chen for the touchdown. Looking to level the score midway through the 2nd quarter here. PAT looks to be good, so we're all square here.
With 7:53 to go in the half, we're level at 14 all.
14-14 tie.
Bosong's really having a nice day passing the football. He's a strong arm player as well. We've talked a lot about Johnny Davidson, but Bosong showing that he's no slouch either.
He's having a good night tonight. He's putting good velocity on the ball, and he's finding his receivers. And
he seems to be managing.
With that good pass there, that was a nice long one. We have a tie ball game here.
It's the 2nd time that he's thrown a deep ball. The first time was just off the hands of his receiver. So that's but both times very good passes. He hit his receiver Chen right in stride there. Impressive touchdown pass. Bosong to Chen. Fremd lining up for the kick here. This will be Scotty Miller and McGovern back for the Broncos.
JT Coldrup to kick off for
we
the
saw
Vikings.
McGovern return a ball earlier very successfully.
Fremd opposite, kick short.
Miller gathers it in, and he's heading over to the left side of the field.
Miller. We got a flag
all
on
over
the play.
the place.
This will likely come back, but not slowing down Miller. He's going to run this thing out to about midfield, but I believe it'll all be for not as a blocking penalty. He's going to bring this ball back and really start Barrington
showing some
back
of
deep in their own territory.
Showing his speed in a futile situation there with a lot of flags flying. which will negate it.
Illegal block in the back.
That's officially the play, so I believe it's going to start at about the 9-yard line. We have 7:43 here left in the second quarter. Johnny Davidson will operate deep in his own territory. The second time Barrington started a drive backed up. The first time was after a quick kick by Fremd, and it resulted in a 3-and-out out of Barrington.
15-yard penalty.
So here's Davidson from his own 9. Nakuanzi in the backfield. Correction, that gonna single back with Davidson and 2 wide receivers on each side. Davidson keeps himself, wiggles through the Fremd defense, picks up about 5 yards. So to get a little breathing room,
Davidson keeps the ball,
makes this a manageable situation for Barrington.
16-yard line, where he's 15-yard line.
This is a critical drive. Still a fair amount of time left in the second quarter. Barrington hasn't trailed this game, but Fremd, it's be a big opportunity for Fremd to get the ball back in decent field position if they can come up with a stop here. Second down, 2 men join Davidson in the backfield. This is a handoff to, looks like number 25, Dylan Abel. He's spun down for about a gain of 2 or 3, so it brings up a key third down here.
Fremd has used a version of the flex defense at times this season. So we'll see.
3rd and 3 from the 16-yard line.
The double eagle flex popularized by Dick Tomey and the Arizona Wildcats in the early 90s. Criticism of the defense is that it can struggle against spread offenses.
And Barrington is in a spread offense.
Here's Davidson keeps, and he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That play was doomed from the get-go. That's going to be about a loss of 2 and should bring out the Barrington punt unit. So that's a big stop by the Viking defense. You had the blocking penalty on the kickoff. And now a big stop, and this is probably Fremd's best opportunity of the game.
Jawan Gaines back to receive the punt.
Gaines stands at about the Barrington 49 awaiting this punt. So
a little under 6 minutes now.
2 times Fremd has been able to start Barrington inside their own 10, and both times have resulted in a 3-and-out. That's a short punt, so this is going to be excellent field position
it
for
gets
Fremd.
a Fremd bounce.
Fremd bounce to boot. So they're going to get the ball at the Barrington 26, looking to take their first lead of the night. Plenty of time, a little over 5.5 minutes.
26 after a 12-yard punt.
Last week, Barrington had a break that resulted in a touchdown for Palatine near the end of the first half, and it sort of set up a situation where Barrington just slid downhill after that. Here's a punt that's short and then gets a bad bounce and puts Fremd in position at the 26 with a first down, 26 of Barrington.
Bosong hands off to his tailback, going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards.
Pat New there.
Pat New on the carry. Pat New, he got free on the first drive of the game for about a 35-yard gain, but hasn't had many touches since then.
Pat New is a senior, 6'8", 162 pounds.
He's been very productive for the Vikings throughout this season.
He leads the conference in yards per carry at 8.4.
Here's Gaines in motion. He gets it. He has some running room around, and he cuts it up. He's going to be close to first down yardage at about the Barrington 17. So they get the ball in Gaines' hands again. He's taking the ball. I think that's the second time this game he's taken the ball on the jet motion.
Gaines carries the ball.
Looks like it's going to be short of the first down. So third and about a yard and a half.
For the Vikings.
Yeah, even the short yardage situation, Fremd opts to not huddle, going with their typical routine of getting the play from the sideline. 2 backs in the backfield, though. This is first time tonight. There's going to be a handoff to McMahon. He stood up at the line, second effort, He spins forward, looks to have the first down for the Vikings at about the 15-yard line. So a nice effort by McMahon. That'll move the chains. They've gone to McMahon in short yardage situations, both at the goal line and for their first touchdown drive, and then here on 3rd and short, they go back to McMahon. McMahon staying out in the field, so see what he can do in a 1st and 10 situation. He's the tailback out of the pistol formation. He gets the ball again, and he's tackled down to the line.
That's number 40, Mark
that looks
Bornhofen.
To be, yeah, 41.
Or Jay Kuhn. 40, Jay Kuhn.
I think that was 41, Bornhofen.
41.
It is Kuhn on the tackle.
Kuhn on the tackle, and he's, from what I understand, a number of the Ivy League schools are looking at him. He's a 6'1",
220-pounder. He's played a lot of football for Barrington, and he's been a productive player, and came up and took down the big back behind the line of scrimmage. This is Patton right up the middle, going to pick up only 2 or so. So this will bring up a 3rd and long.
3rd and 10 for the Vikings.
3rd and long play for Fremd yet again. They've been able to convert a number of these, so we'll see what they can do.
Bozon having a good night passing. It's about as good as you're going to get at this time of year for the passing game. We're right around 60 degrees with no wind.
A couple additional wide receivers, including Cordell Finley, comes out for Fremd. Patton joins Bosong in the backfield out of the pistol set. Excellent pressure out of Barrington.
That was 40 Danhauer.
Yeah, that's the star defensive tackle for Barrington, David Danhauer, on a sack for a big loss, about a 10-yard loss on the sack, and really Bosong couldn't do anything. Danhauer
very well wiped 3 points off the board.
And a couple other Barrington Bronco defenders were quickly into the Viking backfield.
It's all the way back to the 25. They may be trying a field goal.
Looks like they're going to try the field goal.
Looks like they're going to try it. That'll be
a 42-yard kick.
42. That's at the upper limit of high school typically. A 42-yard attempt here with just about 2 minutes.
Barrington tried a similar distance field goal and came up short. This kick's close. Just short. Just short. So from trying a 42-yard field goal, Barrington had previously tried a 41-yard field goal, and both kicks come up just a little short. And that leaves the score at 14-14. Davidson will get the ball. Davidson and the Barrington offense will get the ball at their own 20 with 1:54 left in the half. I'd say plenty of time for Davidson to put together a drive here to see if they can break out of this tieless game before half. Tight end formation for
Here
Barrington.
Comes Miller running across.
Davidson throwing deep. He's got his man there. This is caught. This is off to the races. This is
go for a touchdown.
Menini for a touchdown. This is Mitchell Pfeiffer, an 80-yard touchdown on 1st and 10 from the 20.
Pfeiffer leads he's averaged 24 yards a catch. He just showed us how he gets free deep. He just added to his average quite a bit there. That was from about the original line of scrimmage here was
20.
From the 20, so it's a 80-yard touchdown there. Barrington jumps back into the lead.
Barrington got the ball with under 2 minutes left and only used about 15 seconds or so of the clock to take a lead. Yeah, quick chain of events. Fremd looked to have a chance to take a lead right before half. The sack on 3rd down, missed field goal, and then the big play out of the Broncos.
Offsides of the Vikings.
Yeah, we went from where Fremd had that good field position and then couldn't quite make it, and then the sack, and here we are with a spectacular 80-yard touchdown. Johnny Davidson.
Yeah, Mitchell Pfeiffer had about a step and a half on his defender, and Davidson threw a flawless pass and Pfeiffer was able to outrun everybody to the end zone. PAT is no good.
Lesniak's extra
So a
point
tight
is
ball
no
game
good.
that could be important.
And can make a difference.
But as it is, Barrington's up
20, Fremd
6
14.
points, minute 42. So Fremd will try to answer that before half. But certainly a momentum shifter for the Broncos. Fremd will get the ball to start off the second
Gives
half.
them a boost here late in the first half to stop Fremd when they had fantastic field position, and then come right back and throw a long bomb for a touchdown and go up in this game.
Yeah, really that sack by David Danhauer is a key play in that sequence. That was the first time all night Barrington was really able to get a lot of pressure on Bosong.
And Cody Patnod back to receive the kick from the Broncos.
Gaines is back.
Dean Siap Karras to kick off.
Minute 46, a little bit of time for Fremd to work with. The kick goes to Gaines. He fielded about the 8.
And he's going to
by
be
a couple
brought
of
down.
tacklers, brought down about the 24-yard line.
Gaines is brought down at the 25-yard line. Vikings take over first and 10 with a minute 36 left in the half.
We'll have a minute 36 to work with here to try to get something on the board here right at the end of the half.
Fremd needs to go 75 yards in 96 seconds. They've had some big plays in the passing game as well. I suspect they'll be aggressive here to try to take the lead right before half. Last play for the Fremd offense was the sack by Danhauer. Only about the first time the offensive line has had a leak. 4 wide receivers to the front side of the field.
He's got Gaines.
Here's Gaines on a screen pass. He stays on his feet
Gaines
and out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. That should be a first down.
Finally out of bounds.
That'll be a first down and stop the clock. So Fremd able to pick up some yardage without using much clock.
Out to the 35-yard line. Good enough for a Vikings. First down.
Fremd went with 4 wide receivers to one side, really overloaded that side and threw a screen to Gaines. And he was able to use his blockers and spin out of a tackle to pick up about 11. They go 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field, the Broncos sideline here. Bosong in the traditional shotgun. Gaines comes in motion and he gets the ball.
It's around the left.
Gaines was able to break free, and he actually appeared to have more running room, but a Barrington tackler was able to get one hand on his jersey and prevent him from taking off. So that was close to being broken for a big play, but as it is, another first down. So Fremd picked up 2 first downs without trying to go downfield. Still plenty of time, minute 22 left. Bosong out of the shotgun. A pump fake, and that's going to be a pass interference on Scotty Miller. Bosong targeted his receiver Kyle Lewis. It was an out and go route where Bosong pump faked, let his receiver make a move upfield, and at that time he seemed to have Miller beat. And Miller's reply to that was to grab onto the receiver, drawing a flag. So Fremd went for the big play, didn't get it, but did get the 15-yard penalty.
So with 1:16 remaining in the half, that moves Fremd up to the 39-yard line of the Broncos.
So really, in just 20 seconds, Fremd's been able to move the ball all the way to from their own 25 to the
Fremd offensive line providing pretty good protection here on a lot of this passing in this first half.
Another running play that's Patton coming. He's going to be taken down for about a 5-yard gain.
Shows you some power there.
Patton lined up as a slot receiver, but came in motion and then took the handoff picked up about 5. Fremd's going to use their second timeout with 1 minute 8 seconds left in the second quarter. Pretty impressive drive out of Fremd here. Not using much clock and putting themselves in a position to score.
With the 1 minute and 8 seconds here, the ball sitting on the 35. They're in position to do something here, and
yeah, this drive started with 1 minute and 36 seconds left. So they've only used 28 seconds and moved all the way to the 35.
Going out of bounds a couple times, called a timeout now.
Had the pass interference penalty that allowed them to move the chains as well. Barrington had the momentum turning 80-yard touchdown pass. Fremd looking to respond to that. Here we go, 2nd and 6.
Bozong drops back. Here comes the Barrington rush, and he's going to be, he got it off in time and managed to get a gain out of that.
Kyle Lewis on the reception. It looked like
scrambled, evaded a couple of tacklers.
Looking to set up a screen, and a host of Barrington tacklers got in the backfield, but Bosong was able to avoid them all.
Fremd getting a play off real quick here.
Fremd opts to spike the ball with 54 seconds left. So quite the play by Bosong to avoid that rush and find his receiver. And what do you know? What was a perfect night has turned into some light rain drops here. Gains in motion, he gets it. Not much room, he's going to be out of bounds for a gain of about 1 or 2 yards.
Now the rain is coming down suddenly.
Right before half, 50 seconds left here.
On 2nd down, and makes it
Fremd on the move, and just like that, now they're getting rained on.
We've got about a minute or so of a couple minutes of exercises for the Barrington Broncos and the Fremd Vikings to pick it up and start the second half here. Halftime score 20-14 in favor of the Barrington Broncos.
6-point lead for the Broncos. 24 minutes of the regular season left here. Left here in Palatine before these two teams head to the IHSA state playoffs. Gaines, a full head of steam. He's tripped up and comes to a stop at the 30-yard line where the Fremd offense and quarterback Nick Bosong will start off. Impressive first half for Bosong. He's doing a nice job to match the impressive half by Davidson.
Playing very well. He's the starter, the full-time starter now. He was dividing time earlier in the season and really focused and playing very well.
Seems to have good command of this offense. He's thrown a couple of deep balls with very good accuracy. And he's also done a nice job keeping the ball on some run plays. The big back, McMahon, is back there with him this time. A tighter formation than what we've seen.
Here goes McMahon, and
so here's McMahon picking up about
got a little running room there. So
maybe a little halftime adjustment. It's McMahon in the backfield in a tight formation out of front. So perhaps the Vikings looking to be physical this half.
McMahon brought down by Cooper Van Kamen that time, a defensive lineman.
I have some issues with the clock.
6'2", 280. Gives quite a bit of heft in that defensive line for Barrington.
Patnod back there for the Vikings again, but still a tight formation. This mixed play. Bosong keeps it himself. Looks like he's going to be dropped for a loss. So he turned a different direction from his tailback, Patnod, and seemed to be a broken play. A little bit of a mix-up by Fremd. Loss of 1 brings up 3rd and 7. But interesting thing, after going with 3 or 4 wideouts the entire first half, on the first 2 plays, Fremd went with a much tighter formation. 1 wideout and 2 tight ends, it looked like. Now on 3rd and long, a little more spread out with 2 tight ends, but they have two players in the backfield. So still a little tighter look out of Fremd than what we saw in the first half. Bosong in the play action. He completes the star wide receiver Gaines. That's going to be enough for the first down. Well, it looked like he stepped out of bounds, but apparently not. Wiggled for a couple more yards out to the Barrington 45.
Got a lot of strength for a fellow that's as slim as he is. He's hard to bring down. That moves the chains. And
another third and long conversion on a Fremd there. Here, once again, the tight formation. Looks like this is Patinaud on the carry for about 5.
Trying to pound the ball out here and keep that Barrington offense on the bench or on the sidelines at least.
Pushes the pile for
so the Fremd offense clearly tacking in a different direction and looking to use their physical offensive line to their advantage here. We'll see if it's successful or not. Let's see here. We have really a tight end and an H-back, and this is the big back McMahon on the carry. Only picked up 2 or so.
Downhauer and number 40 Kuhn, the linebacker, in on that stop for Barrington.
McMahon is 6'3", 232, a senior. Some personnel changes for Fremd. Here they look to go to more of a lighter look, a more spread out look on 3rd down. So an interesting strategy shift out of Fremd there, but back to their first half look. About 3rd and 6. 3 wideouts to the far side of the field, the Broncos side of the field. Bosong gets the play in. Out of the pistol formation. Low snap. Sets up the screen to Papanaugh. He's going to slide a tackle. He's taken down right at the sticks. It looks like he may have the first down. It'll be close.
Looks like he has it.
Fremd had tried to run a similar screen late in the first half, but
no signal yet.
46-yard line on that screen pass.
It looks like he does not have it.
Yeah, they're not moving the sticks. And the 4th down, Fremd is setting their offense out there. McMahon is in the backfield with Bosong.
So
looks
here
like Fremd may go for it. This is Fremd rolling the dice a little bit out of the pistol. Gaines comes in motion. The handoff to McMahon. He's up ahead. He's going to have the first down. About a 3 or 4 yard gain. Finally, the whistle blows.
About half of the Barrington team trying to bring him down.
Lou Sponsel rolling the dice a little bit. Goes to his big back, McMahon, for the first down. Not too often you see a ball carrier wearing number 96 like McMahon. A little bit more of a spread formation. 3 wide receivers, the 1 back behind Bosong. Play action.
Here's
heavy
Bosong.
Pressure.
He's got
heavy pressure.
Kuhn caught up with him, Jake Kuhn, and brought him down for a loss that time. That's one of the inside linebackers
for the Vikings.
For the Barrington Broncos. Got in there and completed that play, and that brings up 2nd and 12.
That seems to be another little bit of a shift in this game. About the last 4 minutes of the half or so, Barrington able to get a much better pass rush on Fremd. And that seems to be, that was certainly the case on that play there. 4 wide receivers for Fremd. A quick pass. He's got his man. This is going to be close to a first down.
Bosong's pass is complete to Austin Schwantz down to the 34-yard
Austin Schwantz
line.
sets his first catch of the game. Very close to the first down. Looks like it's going to be short though. 3rd and about 1. Number 96. McMahon in the backfield for the Fremds. So Patrick McMahon likely to get the call here on 3rd and about 1.5 yards for the Vikings.
Gives them a 235-pounder to pound into the line. 232 yards.
Pistol formation, 2 wideouts. Flag on the play. This could be potentially a delay or maybe a legal formation penalty.
Before the snap, flags fly.
Offsides, neutral zone infraction for the Broncos.
That's a 5-yard
I believe that's only our second penalty of the game. But the penalty moves the chains for the Vikings. That's a key play.
First down, Vikings at the 29-yard line.
It's approaching a 5-minute drive for the Vikings. They're now at the Barrington 30. Bosong looks the pass, throws deep. He's got Gaines there, and that's caught.
Gaines caught.
An underhanded catch by Gaines. He's out of bounds at the 1.
28-yard pass.
Impressive passing catch out of Bosong to Gaines for about a 29-yard gain. That'll be 1st and goal at the 1. That's looked to be a very similar route and play call to what Gaines and Bosong weren't able to connect earlier on in the game. This handoff goes to McMahon. He's taken down right at the goal line. No signal yet out of the officials. Looks like it's going to be ruled short. This will be second and goal at about the 1 inch.
McMahon is just short on that
once
first
again
down
on the
carry.
short
Second and goal
yardage
from
play.
the 1-yard line.
Number 96 stays back there. This is going to be Bosong for a keeper. And the Broncos look like they have him stopped. No signal. Ball may have come out. The Bronco defenders are pointing their direction.
Claiming fumble recovery here.
This would really be a turn of events here. Looks like they're ruling it as down.
Song tries to sneak it
So
in.
not a
Comes up
fumble,
short.
but also
Third
not a
and goal.
touchdown. So
Still third
Barrington
and
defense holding tough. Here comes third and goal
1.
from the 1 inch. Bosong in the pistol formation. McMahon behind him. 2 wide receivers to the short side of the field. Handoff to McMahon. He's in for the touchdown. Touchdown Vikings 2020.
Touchdown!
5-minute, 51-second drive out of the Vikings to start the second half and tie up this ball game. They're a PAT away from taking the lead.
Made extensive use of McMahon on that drive. Big 232-pounder, 6'3", and he takes it in for the touchdown, which gives Fremd the opportunity to go in the lead here with the point after.
An interesting drive out of Fremd, going with some tighter formations than we had seen in the first half. And then the key play there, the 29-yard pass, Bosong to a star wideout, Jawan Gaines. Hauled that in on the Fremd sideline at the 1-yard line.
Looks like it's offsides on Barrington.
2 other key plays in that drive was the 4th and 1 conversion by McMahon, and then the 3rd and short conversion due to Barrington penalty, neutral zone infraction that extended the drive. Add it all up, and it's almost a 6-minute touchdown drive out of Fremd.
Brody Martin to attempt the extra point.
Offsides penalty by Barrington will make this an even shorter PAT attempt for the Vikings.
And
Up
that's
and
good.
That's a Fremd Viking lead, 21-20.
With 6:09 left in the third quarter.
Yep, the Barrington offense will be asked to answer that impressive drive out of Fremd. It seems like it's been a long time since Johnny Davison has been at the controls of the Barrington offense. In that time, it went from being dry to raining to dry again.
We had a whole half, and now we've had approximately half of the third quarter is gone, with 6:09 left in the third quarter.
We had talked about Barrington able to switch the momentum in their direction with the 80-yard touchdown drive after a big defensive stop. Fremd, while Barrington was able to quickly change the momentum with the big play, Fremd changes the momentum here a little bit with a long, methodical drive. And here's the place kick, fumbled by McGovern, but picked up. He's coming to the wide side. He has running room.
Yes.
He's open. He's to the 35, the 40. He's going to be pushed out of bounds by the kicker at about the Barrington 46-yard line. So good field position for the Broncos.
Good return by McGovern, who first fumbled it, but then picked it up and ran to his left and all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Well, last week against Palatine, when things started to go the opponent's direction, Barrington didn't respond well. Let's see how they do this week against Fremd. Here's a handoff to, that looks to be number 25. That's Dylan Abel.
Jeff Gill with the big hit on
his second carry of the night. Picks up about 4.
That was Gill on the tackle there, Jeff Gill.
3, 2nd and 7.
Coming up from his defensive back position, making that tackle.
Here's Davidson rolling to his right. Makes the pass that's complete. I believe that's Moran on the reception. That's going to move the chains. So looked as if Davidson had room to run, but he opts the pass and slings the bullet to his receiver, Moran. That's the 5'7", 175 senior receiver. He's had a nice game tonight.
So it's a first down at the 39 of the Vikings here.
Pfeiffer comes in motion and then catches a foot pass. Looks like he slips a tackle, and makes a move. Impressive run by Pfeiffer.
He's all the way down, yeah. He's adding to his yardage, his average. Pfeiffer has a 24-yard average on receptions. He caught the 80-yarder tonight. Now just caught this one, which went for about 30 yards.
And depending on how the scorer wants to, that could have been a backward pass and deemed a rushing play. It was about straight sideways. Here comes the big back.
Yeah, this is Henderson.
TJ Henderson. Typically when he comes on the field, that's touchdown time for the Broncos. The stout tailback.
5'7", 225 pounds.
Looks like he goes off. That was maybe a little early to bring him in. Typically they bring him in inside the 3-yard line or so. It's Makawanzi back there with Davidson, their typical look. That's Makawanzi on the carry. He has running room, man. That's a hard run, and he's in for the touchdown. That's Makawanzi's best run of the night for the touchdown.
Took just over 2 minutes to put a touchdown on the board here.
So that's an impressive answer by Barrington. Makawanzi scores on a tough run. That was following up the impressive catch and run by Mitchell Pfeiffer for that was about a 30-yard gain or so, where he was able to elude a few tacklers for a nice game. Looks like Barrington's chasing their missed PAT. They're going to send their offense to go for 2, level this thing back up to 28. Full house backfield for the Broncos. First time they've done this tonight. It's Davidson keeping and rolling right. He's looking to pass. Intercepted.
Oh.
Intercepted. So they stay at 26.
Picked off by Jeff Gill.
That's a situation where the missed PAT really amounts to 2 missed points. I suspect they would have gone for the traditional 1-point PAT had they not missed the first one. So Barrington takes the lead, 26-21. They answer the tough Fremd drive with a nice drive of their own. But the missed PAT leaves them vulnerable to giving up the lead again here.
Rear interception. Who made that one for Fremd?
I didn't catch it. It seemed to be a linebacker based on the physique.
So that leaves the score at Barrington 26, Fremd 21, with 4:04 remaining in the third quarter. This game continues to stay very, very tight. It's been tight all night, with the teams going back and forth and putting scores on the board, but just trading. It's been an exchange back and forth with matching touchdowns.
That's Barrington's 4th touchdown of the night, and the first time that their quarterback Johnny Davidson wasn't in the mix. Makawanzi taking that in from the 9. Here's a short kick Broncos kick it away from Gaines, and it's run out by an up back to about the 29-yard line.
Turns the ball out to the 30-yard line for the Vikings, ready to take over 1st and 10. So 3:59 to go in the third quarter.
Sort of a notable change in the weather here. Now we've got quite a bit of, it's getting much windier than it was earlier.
The wind blowing out of the south to north here. This would be in the face of the Vikings.
South, coming from the southwest, I'd say. And
looks to be a little bit of an H-back look out of Fremd here. The handoff goes to Patnod, and he's wrestled down there by, looked like number 7, Grant Elliott, and also, let's see here, I believe that was Elliott and Bornhofen on the tackle.
That H-back formation was one that Fremd used very extensively under Donatucci when he was a head coach here. Lou Sponsel played under Donatucci when he was a player at Fremd.
Going deep again. Gaines is up. He's back there.
Gaines jumps but can't hold on.
That's an impressive defensive play. That was number 26, Blake Jacobs.
Intended for Gaines, incomplete.
Defensive back for Barrington that did quite a job on that one.
Huh?
A little lip out of Gaines.
Okay. Yeah, that was one-on-one coverage. Gaines went up for it, wasn't able to come down with it. Then after the play, Gaines heads to the sideline. Looks to be a little hobble. He's waving off the trainers, though. I think he wants to get back in there. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Jogging on the sidelines now, so
3rd and long again for the Vikings.
Here's Bozong.
Bozong gets rid of the ball quickly, and that's caught by Matt Lee. So once again, the Barrington pass rush poured in, but Bozong was cool and calm and delivered the football for a first down.
Getting rid of the ball quickly.
But certainly the Barrington pass rush is a notable change from earlier on in the game. But it didn't hamper the Vikings on that play. Looks like Gaines is back in there in the slot, so that injury didn't appear to amount to much. We got Jeff Gill as the H-back coming in motion. There's a handoff to Papino. He's pushed back before coming around to the sideline to pick up about 2 on the first down play. Patnod had about a 30-yard run on Fremd's first drive of the game, but since then, Barrington's been able to keep him in check pretty well. Timeout Fremd. Looks like it's going to be a block on the back as well. That potentially could be declined.
Brought down behind the play by Julius Smith.
Julius Smith, he was blocked in the play, and I believe the call was against his blocker, yet Smith was still able to make the play. Brought him down well behind the line. This will be a decision for Coach Joe Sanchez whether he wants to accept this penalty or not. It looks like it would be about a 3rd and 13 play if he declines it. If they take it, it would be about 2nd and 23, I believe. Looks as if the 13th year Barrington head coach looks to take the penalty, moving the Vikings all the way back to their own 30. It'd be 2nd down at about 23 or so. So long distance for Fremd to move the chains here.
Sets up a passing situation where Barrington may really go for the sack here, perhaps.
Yeah,
they've got pretty good pressure, and
that reverse came out of a little bit different formation than Fremd had been running, and it was the same formation they did before the timeout. Bozong passes to Gaines off his fingertips.
3rd and 23 for
incomplete. So this will be 3rd and a mile for Fremd here. He had his man Gaines there, but off the top of his fingers.
That last place, Julius Smith did blitz in from the left corner.
Julius Smith, senior outside linebacker, 5'11", 180 pounds. You'd have to expect Barrington to be a little more conservative and not bring much pressure, being that it's 3rd and 23. 4 down linemen for the Broncos. Bosak back. It looks like he's taken down by the Barrington tackle.
Downhauer.
Big tackle. Big sack by Downhauer. That's his 2nd sack of the night. And that'll bring out the Fremd punting unit. We haven't seen much of this unit tonight.
Downhauer, a senior, 6 feet, 215-pound defensive tackle.
He's probably the most accomplished defensive lineman for the Broncos. 2nd sack of the night, and Both of his sacks ended Viking drives.
Oh,
Boy, this is a big hit. If that's ruled a fumble, it can be advanced.
Yeah.
There is a flag on the play, so this may not be going to the Vikings.
Big hit by Ryan Haas.
A flag right around where the
might be a question about whether he was crowded or something.
By Joe
I did not see a fair catch signal. I believe that was McGovern on the catch for the Broncos. I think either way, even if this is not ruled catch interference, the return won't be allowed. It'll be ruled a muffed punt, if anything, which can't be advanced. But the officials are huddling. This will be the first turnover of the game, I believe. Play occurred at the Barrington 47. Here's the call out of the officiating crew. Sanchez is well out on the sideline, drawing some disapproval from the Fremd side, and Sanchez being constrained by one of his players. That's number 2, Matt Moran.
Chen with a big hit.
Sanchez does not agree with the call. His punt returner McGovern lost his helmet on the big hit. Still no official word from the officiating crew here. One of the officials is standing over the ball at the Barrington 17-yard line, while the rest of the crew is closer to midfield discussing what they want to do here. Coach Sanchez has returned to the Barrington bench. A long delay out of the officials here. Could be deciding whether they're going to rule that a muffed or a caught punt and a fumble. If it's a fumble, it can be advanced. If it's muffed, it would go back to the 47, but would still be Fremd ball. Here's the call. Personal foul, targeting penalty on Fremd. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the ball, and most importantly, Barrington retains possession, and that really puts some energy into the Barrington bench. A lot of bouncing around on the Barrington sideline after that call. Interesting sequence there.
Quite a difference.
So that went from being a potentially Fremd ball at the Barrington 17 to Barrington ball, and I believe it's going to be around the Fremd 40. And in between that, we had Coach Sanchez coming out to about midfield.
Or are they making it? It looks like a re-kick here. Play going over. So
yeah, okay. Looks
Vikings
like
retain possession, but they just move it back. Apparently from the. There must have been a penalty away from where the.
I don't know if that was an offsetting penalty or maybe they called Coach Sanchez for being out in the field.
They put this Vikings way back.
That must have just been.
May have been a penalty that was called
I think that
nearer to the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the punt yet again. This punt gets blocked down by the wind a little bit and goes out of bounds. Roughly the Fremd. I think that's going to end up being about the 36 or so.
Punt goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Broncos take over possession.
So a bizarre sequence that resulted in a re-kick and ultimately Barrington ball at the Fremd 40. We'll have to get the word on just why that was re-kicked rather than having the penalty assessed at the spot of the foul. Nonetheless, Johnny Davidson takes the field for the Broncos, looking to increase their 5-point lead.
Puts Barrington in business at the 41.
Two backs. 40. This is Makawanzi. He stood up pretty nicely at the line, about a gain of 1.5 yards, maybe 2.
Been fairly rough going into that Fremd defensive line tonight.
We're under 40 seconds in the third quarter. This may be the last play of the quarter. Barrington opting to go without a huddle here. Davidson once again joined by 2 backs, Makawanzi and Abel. That's Davidson finds his receiver Moran out in the flat. He's gonna He fumbles, but looks to roll out of bounds. There is a flag in the play. That flag came where Moran was being tackled, seemingly on the tackle. So I suspect that will be a face mask penalty, which will move the ball further into Fremd territory. But I looked on that pass. Davidson was looking to go deep, but then settled for his receiver Moran, who was uncovered about 8 yards downfield. So this game was relatively mistake-free in the first half. We've seen a few penalties, and we've seen the ball on the turf a little bit here in the second half.
Game was exceedingly clean and penalty-free in the first half.
Face mask on the Broncos.
Getting much more.
Boy, that's an interesting call. Looks like that face mask must have been on Moran as he was trying to stiff arm a tackler. So he appeared to have first down yardage, but the penalty moves it back short of the sticks, and it'll be second and 5 or second and 4 for the Broncos. This is Makowanzi on the handoff, hard running. He breaks a tackle.
Got the first
down
down
easily. About a 9-yard pickup, first down. That's an impressive run by Makowanzi.
Jeff Gill and Kenny Like.
So Makowanzi's had his best 2 carries of the game on the touchdown and then that run there to move the sticks. That's the end of the third quarter, 26-21.
Quarters, your score, Barrington 26, Fremd 21.
So an interesting, fast-paced third quarter. It started off with the long almost 6-minute drive out of Fremd, and then it was matched by a quick touchdown drive out of Barrington before being slowed up with some peculiar penalties. A couple personal foul on Fremd that negated a potential fumble out of Barrington. But as we said, Barrington on the move. Be first and 10 at the 27-yard line of Fremd. 12 minutes left in the regular season for these 3 teams.
Season has moved right along. We started out with a balmy evening. It's gotten a little crisper, so we're a little more seasonal as we conclude this game. Barrington in position here to achieve the largest margin of the night, or perhaps.
This game has been a 1-score game throughout. Barrington looking to change that. Here's Davidson on the quick pass. He finds Pfeiffer for about an 8-yard gain, maybe more. Taken down about the 19-yard line. Here comes another flag.
Another flag as the game gets a little.
Looks like
a little messier.
Brought down on the play by number 13.
Looks like it was probably on Barrington, but
after the play.
Unsure. Pfeiffer comes out of the scrum without his helmet. So the big 5'10", the husky wide receiver, 5'10", 190. Pfeiffer's had the 80-yard touchdown pass, and then he had a key screen pass on Barrington's second half touchdown drive. This personal foul is going to go against the Vikings.
Probably, I think they may have roughed up Pfeiffer on that one after the catch, tackling him. That brings it all the way down.
That's how the ref saw it.
Looks like it's.
So a nice game by Pfeiffer is aided by after the play penalty.
Right about the 10-yard line, 9-yard line, where it's first and goal for the Barrington Broncos.
A little confusion out of Barrington. They have some guys running on and off the field after they broke the huddle. But it's Davidson with his back, Makowanzi.
He's got Miller way to the left, being covered by Gaines, I think, the 2 number 1s.
There's a handoff to Makowanzi. He's strung out wide, and he's going to be dropped for a loss.
He's going to suffer a loss there.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage on that play.
Yeah, physical from defensive front. Looked good on that play. They were able to kick Makowanzi, chase him down and bring him down for about a 1.5 yard loss.
Hansen and Gill in on the Jeff Gill and Hansen in on that tackle for Fremd, which resulted in a 2-yard loss.
Scotty Miller, Miller comes in motion here. That's going to be past him. He's got room. He's heading towards the end zone. He's in, but there is a flag in the backfield.
There's a flag.
So Miller took the screen pass, may have even been a backwards pass, and was able to use his speed to get in the end zone, but a flag is going to negate that. This is the second offensive face mask of this drive.
Highly unusual penalties that we're coming up with in this game.
That one certainly didn't seem to be on the ball carrier Miller, so perhaps that was in the act of blocking that Barrington got called for that face mask. Didn't catch a number on that, but presumably a Barrington blocker called for a face mask.
Push back to the 26-yard line.
Some peculiar penalties in the second half.
2nd and goal.
Really, really unusual things.
Second and goal at the 26-yard line. So a challenging situation for Barrington here.
Here's
Miller in motion. Davidson keeps. This is a screen back to this is number 11, Jake Zazada. He gets some of that back to about the 17 or so.
Taken down on play by Jeff Gill.
Jeff Gill on the tackle for Fremd again.
3rd and goal from the 18-yard line.
3rd and goal from the 18. Barrington went a little conservative with the screen. Seemed to be a sensible play, picked up some yards. Not too many 3rd and 18 plays in the playbook here. 3 wide receiver set for the Broncos. Miller comes in motion, and Davidson's going to keep up the middle. Not much room. He gets strung outside. He made the Vikings work for that tackle, but they ultimately took him down for about a 6-yard loss. That could make a difficult field goal attempt.
Haas and Gill and a few others, about 4 other Vikings in on that. That results in a loss. We now have 4th down and 25 yards. It's going to be a...
And as we mentioned earlier, the wind had picked up, and with the change of quarter, this is now more in the face of Barrington. So it looks like they're going to leave Davidson on the field. We saw on the first play, on the first series, Fremd's first series of the drive.
4 receivers right and 1 left. There goes.
Davidson eludes a tackler, and he has running room, but he's got a long ways to go. He's going to keep him himself, and he's going to be taken on at about the 9-yard line.
So
if nothing else, that scamper works a little bit as a punt.
Forces Davidson out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Vikings take over on
turning it over with field position adverse to Fremd. They're all the way down on about their own 10-yard line. So Davidson effectively running the ball and accomplishing what a good punt would have accomplished.
So really the key play of that sequence was the screen pass to Scotty Miller. Went for a touchdown, but negated on the offensive face mask that really derailed that drive for the Broncos. So Barrington looked to be able to make this a 2-score game, but had to settle for the turnover on downs, and Fremd's offense is back in the field. Here comes Gaines on the jet motion.
Barrington hanging on to a thin 5-point margin.
Gaines picks up about 4 on that play.
Juwan Gaines picks up 5 on first
9 minutes left in the game.
The 15-yard line, 2nd and 5 for the Vikings.
Fremd would have to go about 90 yards in order to take the lead here. Oh. 3 wide receivers out for the Vikings. So with the length of the field to go, Fremd not opting to go with their big back McMahon. 4 wideouts. Deep pass. Just out of the reach of his wide receiver Austin Spiewak.
For Kyle Lewis is incomplete.
Kyle Lewis,
3rd
I guess.
and 5.
Almost complete. Would have been quite a nice gain for the Vikings, but couldn't hang on.
Yeah, that
9:01 remaining in the game. Here we are, third and
Both
about
Song's
6.
been accurate on deep passes. That one
Third and
catchable,
5.
but not brought in. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 for the Vikings. Bosong. Bosong went to his receiver, Andrew Billard.
4th and 5 for the Vikings.
Incomplete. May have been deflected by the Barrington defensive back.
Barrington defensive back went for the interception. He's now down on the field.
Official timeout to attend to the injured Bronco here.
Here it comes.
Fair catch by Miller this time.
Fair catch, and that
At the front 42. So a pretty good field position for the Broncos yet again. Looking to make this a 2-score game.
another opportunity to go up by 2 scores here.
Seems like Barrington in the second half, they've had some success with some screen passes.
Big offensive line working hard tonight. Alex Sereno, 71, and Brent Morrison, 69 out there. Both 280-pounders.
This is Makuwanzi on the carry. Once again stood up. So Makuwanzi, he had the touchdown in the second half, a couple of other good runs, but really hasn't been able to get consistent yardage. So that brings up about 2nd and 10
for the Broncos.
2 backs in the backfield. This is a look Barrington's employed here a little bit in the second half.
Timeout, Broncos.
Barrington Broncos will use their first timeout.
You can see the replay of tonight's game exclusively on CN100.
It's still been rough going against this Fremd defense, which is hard to run against.
Here's Davidson passing, looking deep.
And
He's got
looks
Miller
like
there.
Got Miller.
Miller
No, can't hang on
twisted in
to
the
it.
air and was not able to hang on to it.
For Scotty Miller is incomplete.
Miller tried to adjust to the
3rd and
ball,
10 for the Broncos.
and I think he disoriented himself, wasn't able to come down with it. So a good pass by Davidson, had his man there, but not able to connect. Bring up 3rd and long for the Broncos. That's one of the few times Davidson has thrown deep this game. One thing to look for out of Barrington, they've had some success throwing to receivers in motion. See if they go to that here.
That last pass was close to 50, right around 50 yards in the air.
Here comes Moran in motion. Oh, wow.
Almost intercepted by a lineman.
Barrington set up a screen. It was tipped by Fremd at the line and almost intercepted. That was number 87, Dominic.
Pick and near interception. 4th and 10 for the Broncos.
Dominic Roble, number 97. Not an interception, but it will bring out the Bronco punting team.
This punt coming from about the 42-yard line.
So both teams were able to get the ball in the end zone in their first possession of the second half, but it's been nothing but defensive stops since then. Gains on the punt return.
There's
another flag.
Another flag.
Punt to the 20-yard line. There's a flag.
This one coming in late. This one coming in late as well. Flag resting at the 16-yard line. Another opportunity for Fremd and Nick Bosong to take the lead here.
But the walk-off is against Fremd. It's going to put them way back.
On Fremd.
And
10-yard penalty.
Second consecutive drive. They're starting right at about their 10-yard line.
That's a long way to go against this Barrington defense unless you are fortunate enough to get a real big play and make a lot of yardage all at once to try to move 90 yards against this tenacious defense is difficult.
Bosong hands off to his tailback Patnod. Not much there. That's been the story most of the night. About a 2-yard gain. That's probably been the thing the Bronco defense has done best tonight, is slow down the tailback game of Fremd. Bosong dropping back, throwing the ball deep to Gaines. A little overthrown. And Gaines was well covered.
3rd and 9 for the Vikes.
Well covered. He had a safety to help out, and that I believe was number 25 or number 24, Dylan Bingham, I believe, on the coverage there.
Now Cordell Finley is in for Fremd as a receiver. Played some quarterback for Fremd earlier in the season.
Correction, I believe that was...
It's getting windier as the night goes on here. There's another flag.
There's a flag on the field. Offsides on the Broncos.
I believe that was Cameron Sarkar on the coverage.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
That's a neutral zone infraction on Barrington. The second time this half they've lined up in the neutral zone. The first time it gave the Vikings a first down, but this time it'll make it easier for them. Brings up turns a 3rd and 9 into a 3rd and 4. Opens up the playbook a little bit for the Vikings. Juwan Gaines is in the slot on the wide side of the field, closest to the Fremd sideline. He comes in motion. He gets the ball. He's strung out wide, looks to be taken down well behind the line. So a nice defensive effort there by the Bronco defense, taking Gaines down for a big loss.
The line of scrimmage,
that'll bring up another punt.
Dan Hauer and others in on that tackle. 4th down, and it's just about, the clock is still running. We're just under 7 minutes now in the game. And Fremd kicking from the end zone. Punter drops the ball, picks it up.
Still able to get off a nice punt. That's going to go out of bounds on the Barrington side of the field.
Stayed in bounds.
Yep, stayed in bounds all the way, rolls down to the 42. So this game was kind of a back and forth offensive battle. Has kind of changed, the script has changed a little bit as these defenses have put together some stops. 6.5 minutes left. Wonder if we'll see Barrington try to work the clock here at all.
See if they can work McQuanzie on a lot of runs here and burn up some clock and maybe get a field goal would be a big deal right now. That'd put them 8 points ahead for Barrington, so they might.
Davidson finds his receiver Pfeiffer. He's taken out of bounds at about midfield. So a pickup of 7 on 1st down. Pfeiffer's had a nice game tonight.
Mitchell Pfeiffer on the reception, forced out by Jake Haas. After a pickup of 7 yards, brings up 2nd and 3.
So that puts Barrington in a good position here. 2nd and 3 at midfield. Nakawanzi joins Davidson in the backfield. Davidson drops back to pass. He's going deep. He's got Pfeiffer there. That's going to be a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
That's Pfeiffer's 2nd touchdown of the night, and that's a big one. That extends the Barrington lead, 32-21, 50-yard touchdown pass. Johnny Davidson, Mitchell Pfeiffer.
His previous one was 80, so he's got 130 yards on 2 touchdown passes for Pfeiffer here. And that drastically changes the character of the game. We're now 32-21 with Barrington lining up for the extra point.
So Fremd's done a nice job keeping the ball out of Scotty Miller's hands. They haven't been able to do the same to Mitchell Pfeiffer. That's his 2nd touchdown of the game, and he had a big screen pass that set up Barrington's first second half touchdown.
With 6:24 left.
33 to 21.
Yeah, he's probably approaching 200 yards receiving on the game. I would have to guess.
He came into this game having the highest per reception on the Barrington team over Miller. He was 24. Miller was about 21 or so at the start of this game, and Pfeiffer has added to his average, I'm sure, with these 2 long touchdown catches in this game. One for 80 and one for about 80 and 50. 80 and exactly 80 and I believe 50.
Yeah,
so
Pfeiffer
130 yards on 2 catches.
For a wide receiver, he's a pretty stout kid, coming in at 190 pounds and 5'10".
He's got good speed and good hands, and he's had quite a ball game tonight, and his 2 long touchdowns are a big part of
Gaines back deep to receive the kickoff.
Yeah, Pfeiffer's 80-yard touchdown came with just under 2 minutes left in the half. So 33-21, 12-point lead for the Broncos as they kick off to Fremd and Juwan Gaines. Gaines takes it at about the 13-yard line. He's got room.
He's got room.
He's got room. He's out in the open. He may be able to take this. One guy to beat for Gaines. He has a blocker up ahead. He's wiggled out of the tackle. He's going to be taken down at the
all the way down
6-yard line. The ball appears to be out, but it looks as if they
no flags.
No ruling out of the officials. So this would negate a huge play for Fremd if the ball is in fact on the turf.
Ball came out. We don't have it.
The refs are uncovering players right now. Both teams are pointing in their favor. Front ball. So that's
Vikings retain possession. They recover the fumble.
Juwan Gaines, a big play in the return game. He returned a kickoff last week, and he almost did that here. Right when Fremd really needed a big play, that's what they got. So things look gloomy for the Vikings, but that return to the 6-yard line breathes a little life into the Vikings there.
First and goal from the 6.
And not surprisingly, number 96, Patrick McMahon, takes the field for the Vikings. It's a handoff to McMahon. He goes up the middle. He's dragging tacklers. He's going to get down to the 1. He may be in the end zone.
He's in the end zone. They couldn't bring him down.
They couldn't bring him down. A host of tacklers, Barrington tacklers, met him at about the 2, but they weren't able to get him down before he crossed the goal line.
6'3", 232 pounds, and he just fought his way into the end zone.
So just when the scoring in this game had slowed up a little bit, we got 2 quick touchdowns. The long play to Mitchell Pfeiffer, and then the front touchdown after the impressive kickoff return by Juwan Gaines to the 6-yard line, and the drive was capped by a 1-play 6-yard drive with the touchdown going to Patrick McMahon. I believe that's his 2nd touchdown of the night.
The extra point is good. 6:05 left.
33-28, 5-point game with 6 minutes left.
And for both of these teams looking forward to playoffs, these are a couple of teams that are going to score points in the playoffs. They're not going to be easily held down by the defenses that they might face going forward here after tonight.
Yeah, and I would a well-played game the last weekend in October. I would say if this game were to be played in the last weekend of November, people wouldn't be surprised by the quality of play they see out here. Both teams has an assortment of playmakers. So we saw Juwan Gaines go off the sideline earlier in the second half with what seemed to be an ankle injury. Apparently didn't amount to much as he was able to break free for the big kickoff return to make this a ball game again. And that from kickoff goes into the end zone. That's both those kickoffs. The change in the wind are a factor. Gaines was able to field that kickoff more at about the 11, which aided in his return, and Fremd able to put that kickoff into the end zone.
Got a fairly strong wind coming out of the southwest.
So Davidson and the Bronco offense take over at their own 20. They've been able to operate on Fremd's half of the field for much of this half, but now they find themselves at their own 20. Miller in motion, he gets it. He has room. Stiff arm Miller out of bounds at about the 30. That'll be close to a first down. So Davidson hasn't been able to connect with Miller much in the passing game, so they figure they'll hand it off to him, and he picks up about 9 yards. Actually, they're gonna move the chains on that for a Bronco first down.
Ball's been spotted at the 30-yard line.
When they set the chains, they'll roll the clock, and it'll be under 6 minutes.
First and 10.
Five-point ball game here at the corner of Illinois Avenue and Quinton. Pfeiffer comes in motion. Davidson looking to pass. He's going to be spun around by a Fremd tackler and not taken down. He's way in the backfield. He gets rid of it. This thing is caught by Pfeiffer.
And he winds up with a short gain.
Wow.
But Davison showing us just how quick he is and how light on his feet. He was able to, and strong. He tore out of a tackle and spun around and ran around and wound up with a 4-yard gain on that play.
That's a frustrating play for the Vikings. They look to have a key sack there, but Davidson able to wiggle loose, uses athleticism, and turned in potentially a big negative into a 4-yard gain to Mitchell Pfeiffer, who's continuing his big game here tonight. Here comes Scotty Miller in motion. That's going to go to Makawanzi. He's stood up, though, by the Fremd defense. That front seven of Fremd has kept Makawanzi in check for the most part tonight. Really both tailbacks have been taken out of this game by their respective defensive fronts.
Pat McMahon and Jack Hansen in on the tackle. Third and 5.
Third and 5.
For the Broncos.
We're under 5 minutes to play here.
Big down here if they can get a first down and burn another couple of minutes. Clock is starting to be a big factor. That's a first down.
Davidson finds Scotty Miller for about a 7-yard gain. That'll move the chains.
That pass to Scotty Miller.
So with 4:27, that brings up another first down, and the Broncos have an opportunity to burn a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and perhaps get another first down and start to make the clock be a really big factor here.
Davidson, for a 5'10" junior, he doesn't get rattled too much. A big third down play, and he calmly took the snap from his center and delivered a easy pass to his receiver Miller. First and 10 at the Barrington 43-yard line here. This is going to be Makawanzi. He has a little bit of room. Picks up about 6 or 7 yards before being taken down. That's number 44 for the Vikings, Jack Hansen.
Flag on the field.
A flag in the area of holding. That's what it is.
Call is holding against the Broncos.
So that's a big penalty.
It's a very big penalty, and
that'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
We're under 4 minutes, so Fremd desperate to get the ball back here as soon as they can. Both teams with 2 timeouts here.
See Johnny Davison
the ball is marked at the
take to the air again.
Line, brings up first and 22 for Barrington.
First down and 22. Davidson going with an empty backfield. I think that's the first time on the night they've done that. A front player appeared to jump into the neutral zone, but I think they called.
Davidson checking the play with his coaches.
5 wide receivers on this play here for the Broncos. Looks like Davidson's going to keep. He's got a little bit of room here. Taking down about a gain of 7 or 8 on the play there.
Davidson
so the Broncos opted to spread out the Viking defense and let Davidson pick up a few yards and keep the clock rolling. It's gonna tick under 3 minutes here. So we're second and 15. A Barrington first down on this sequence would make things very difficult for the Vikings. Also an interesting strategic decision. Does Barrington want to go to the air and risk stopping the clock, or they want to keep that clock moving? Here comes Miller in motion. We got another penalty. The delay of game.
For the snap.
That's a delay of game. That's one of the few errors we've seen the junior quarterback make tonight. Not getting that snap off in time. That'll make a challenging conversion even harder.
Delay occurs with 2:40 remaining on the clock. We're second down and very long now. That's a 2nd and 20 situation.
Davidson has his running back, Makawanzi, back there with him here. 3 receivers towards the front sideline. It's going to be handed off to, this is actually Miller in the back, coming out of the backfield. Boy, he picks up a nice gain, but I'm sure he
Miller is pushed out of bounds at the
I'm sure the Bronco coaching staff would have preferred him to stay in bounds on that play.
That stops the clock with 2:35 left.
So we're 3rd and 8, 2:35, 2 timeouts for Fremd here.
For the Broncos.
Play comes in from the sideline. Scotty Miller in the backfield again next to Davidson. And he's going to get it. Miller gets it.
Gets it.
He's not going to get much. Maybe a yard or 2.
Not getting much at all. Yeah.
We'll see if Fremd's going to opt to use their 2nd timeout. So that's going to bring on the Bronco punting unit at their own 45-yard line with 2 minutes, 29 seconds left.
Out by
to take it a long way. See where he goes with this kick. My guess is that he's going to kick it to the right side of the field. Gaines is the only guy back. He's way over to the east side of the field. They kick it to.
It's a good punt, but it's knocked down by the wind and goes out of bounds.
Goes out of bounds.
So this is going to be a good field position for the Vikings. Plenty of time, 1 timeout. The quarterback, Nick Bosong's going to take the field with a chance to win this ball game.
That ball is punted out of bounds. Vikings take over possession at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10.
They may have intentionally kicked that one out of bounds. It's not a great kick, but it's better than a big return, and Fremd is on the 40. They've got 60 yards to go and 2 minutes and 23 seconds to get it done.
A little pep in the step of the Viking offense as they take the field to try to win this game here. Bosong comes out with 2 wide receivers, both on the wide side of the field. This is going to be a handoff to Patnod, and once again he's snowed under it. This time for about a yard and a half loss. That'll run the clock.
2nd and 11.
So Patnod's been slowed up most of the night, and Fremd opts to go to him there to start off this critical drive late in the game. Results in a loss of 1 and a moving clock.
Big offensive line for Fremd working all night. Dominic Lombard, Jack Albrecht, and others.
Bosong, he's going to take to the air. He finds his man Gaines on a quick pass to the sideline. He's going to pick up a few, and he's going to get out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
So Gaines picks up about 7 and stops the clock. Brings up 3rd down.
Pick up 8 yards on the play.
4-down situation for the Vikings here on out.
I suspect this is the most passes for Bosong in a game all season.
And he's been pretty effective both on some deep balls and getting rid of the ball quickly. Both these quarterbacks do a nice job of getting rid of the ball as soon as they can. Bosong hands off to his tailback, and he's not going to pick up much, maybe a yard, half yard, and that clock's going to keep running. So Patnod twice on this series.
For 2 yards brings up 4th and 1 for the Vikings.
Gets his number called twice on this series, and both times doesn't pick up much. Here comes 4th down. Here's the ball game. This stop here would be the ball game. Bosong tries to get the Bronco defense to jump. Now he settles back down. He has his big number 96.
This is it right here. If they're stopped here, 4th and 1.
Got to believe
Just a little
McMahon's
over a
going to get
minute
this
left
ball
in the
here.
game.
Oh, bad snap. It's Bosong. He's going to pick it up.
He's going to pick it up.
The song makes something
So
out of
that's one of those plays that does not go how you draw it up, but it still goes in favor of the Vikings. So a drop snap and Bosong picks it up.
108. He'll probably
Looks like they're
spike
going
it
to
here.
spike it here to stop the clock.
Spikes it.
So we got 1:07 left and about 48 yards to go for the Vikings.
First down. Stops the clock. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
107 remaining. Ball at the 48 of Barrington. 5 points separating these teams right now. Fremd.
Similar to Fremd's 2-minute drill drive at the end of the first half, they did not throw the ball downfield then. They haven't done so here either. Here's kind of a tight formation. The big back is in the bag, and then another box snap. This ball's on the ground. Barrington looks to be on it.
Barrington appears to have the ball. That
looks like Jake Kuhn,
that
the
would
senior
effectively end the
linebacker.
game right there.
The senior
looks like they've
linebacker
got
appeared
it.
to get on it. Jake Kuhn
They
is
do
on
have
top
it.
of that ball. That's going to be a Barrington
that will,
win.
and there's pandemonium on the Barrington side right now, up in the stands and along the sideline. It's been quite a whirlwind game here tonight, with the lead changing several times, lots of big plays, and it looks like with that,
Jack Kuhn's
things are ready to be concluded here with
Jack Kuhn's
Barrington
been a
on top.
regular in this Barrington defense for the last couple of years here, and he comes up with the football to close out his MSL West career with a big win over Fremd. What had been a pretty darn clean game, Fremd had back-to-back problems with the snap. One they were able to work through with Bosong converting. That one resulted in the fumble that Barrington was able to jump on, and that's gonna end this game. Fremd's gonna move to 6-3. Barrington finishes up a nice season, 8-1.
Both of these teams are headed for the playoffs, and based on what we've seen here tonight, minus maybe a few strange penalties, we saw a lot of quality football here tonight, and they're ready to go into that 8A field, which has tough competition, and I believe that they'll both be quite successful in the playoffs.
Barrington kneels on it one last time.
8-1 season for the Barrington Broncos. Joey Sanchez has built quite a nice program here at Barrington, and I'd say he has perhaps his best quarterback he's had. Johnny Davidson had a nice day, and Mitchell Pfeiffer, the receiver, had a big day as well. So in a back and forth, lots of momentum shifts, lots of big plays, an exciting game here in Palatine. Barrington wins it 33-28 over the Fremd Vikings. We'll see both these teams in the playoffs maybe for the next several weeks.
So it's quite a night of football here. I'm John Anderson, and for Eric Anderson, we'll sign off now. And as Eric said, the future looks bright for both of these teams going into the playoffs.